Welcome back. In this tutorial, we are going to cover linking an AutoCAD drawing to Inventor. So here on my screen, I've got an an AutoCAD drawing that we're going to link to Inventor. And so back in the day, you had one option really when it came to using AutoCAD data. You could copy and paste it into a sketch. And so that was great. It worked pretty well until you got to the point where you made changes to the AutoCAD. The AutoCAD was not linked to Inventor. It was totally standalone. And so if you had changes, you had to go back in and basically redo everything. So it was a very time-consuming process. And so now with this drawing that we've got here, we can actually link this to Inventor. So we'll hop over to Inventor, maybe, and we're going to go to Manage and then Import. And then we're looking for link ACAD to Inventor. So we're going to go ahead and hit Open. And it's asking for a planar face or a plane, so we're going to pick our top plane. And it wants to do a specify origin to place the drawing, so we're going to select our center point. Now, basically what this is saying is that it creates an underlay and that you can use project drawing geometry to create model features based off of projected geometry. So I'm going to explain what all that means in a second. So if we take a look at what we've got going on here, we'll notice a couple of things. We'll notice that everything is still in color and it's really difficult to see. So I'm going to pop back to AutoCAD real quick and I'm going to freeze my dimension layer because we don't need that. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change my object layer color to white. Now the other way that you could do this is you could just select everything and then change the color. But you know, I like to do things with layers. So anyways, so we've got this now. So we pop back to Inventor. I'm going to do that a lot this video, I got a feeling. And I'm looking for this update button, this local update, and it is grayed out. So what that means is I forgot a crucial step right here. And that crucial step is we have to save our work. In order for anything to be updated in Inventor, we have to save it in AutoCAD. So back to Inventor, now I see my local update button. I'm going to click that and everything is black. So I still see my dimensions, which is okay. What I'm going to do is, this is all upside down. And so if the orientation of it matters, it's not a difficult fix. We can thaw our dimensions. Actually, we'll go ahead and thaw all of our layers real quick here so that we make sure that we can get everything in case we rotate something we don't mean to. We're going to rotate this. Let's just do it about this center point. And let's flip it 180 degrees. And so now if I save and go back to Inventor, click my update button, I see that it's gone ahead and flipped it over. So now, you know, what I would think here is that I should be able to go ahead and extrude this. But when I go to extrude, I see that I don't have a closed sketch. And the other thing that I'm seeing is that my origin is way off from my center point in Inventor. So what I'm going to do real quick, because I want this to be centered, is I'm going to hop back over to AutoCAD and I'm going to draw a line from 0, 0. And then I'm going to move my drawing geometry from this point here to the end of that line, erase this line, and then I can go ahead and save my drawing. Okay, awesome. This happens. I'm not sure why it happens. Your drawing can get locked. And it's not read-only, and it's not that it's actually locked because it's already open in another program, I don't think. So if we go ahead to Inventor real quick, I'm going to save this on my desktop. Oh, that's because it's a PAR file. Okay, so let's go ahead and save that and close it. And then we're also going to close our AutoCAD drawing. And it's going to ask if I want to save the changes. It said unfortunately it's write protected, so I'm going to have to say no. And that's why it's important to make sure that we save all the time. I'm going to reopen this drawing, and notice now it's not write protected. So I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. It's something we've been trying to figure out, and I should probably get a hold of somebody at Autodesk to talk to them about. But we can go ahead and move this again real quick. You know, sometimes there are hiccups. It's important to remember that what we're doing now could save us a bunch of time, so it's not the end of the world. Okay, so we need to update our drawing, and now we're good. So now I need to save this real quick, and then I'm going to sketch on my top work plane. And this is where we need to do what that little dialog box popped up said when we first imported our CAD, was to project drawing geometry. If I just try to project geometry, it won't let me pick this. So I need to project drawing geometry. Now I can come in here and I can pick every single curve and every single loop, or I can come over here and I can pick project connected geometry. This is one of those tools. It's going to save us a bunch of time. I'm going to pick that, and I'm going to pick that. I'm going to cancel that and finish sketch. Now here's the beauty. That's all I have to do. I can now extrude this, and we don't know if this shape is a boss or a pocket, so we're going to go ahead and leave it as a pocket. Actually, you know what? Let's not do that. Let's go ahead and let's start a new sketch, and we'll go to wireframe. And let's project drawing geometry again, and we're going to pick this loop, finish sketch, and now we can extrude that. Let's say this is a 1/2 inch. And now we've got a boss that's sticking up proud of our surface. So we can turn off the viz on our work planes. Now the last thing I need to do is put some holes in there. So I'm going to sketch on this top surface. I'm going to project drawing geometry, and I'm going to find my hole. Now notice that I don't have to look at it wireframe. I can change it if I want to. If I'm having a hard time, I can always flip this over and just pick my 2 circles, and now I'm going to get center points. Now remember, if it's a hole, make it a hole feature. So what we need to do, I got out of my sketch too soon, we need to put a center point here and here. We can also do a dimension of this to double check, and it's going to say it's going to over constrain the sketch. We'll say accept, and now we've got a nice driven dimension that tells me that that's a 3/4 inch hole. Finishing my sketch and creating a hole feature with a 0.75 diameter, and now I'm good. So now my part is done. I can do anything else I want to this. I could put in fillets or chamfers or anything like that. The other thing I want to show you real quick before we wrap this video is that we're going to take this and we're going to turn the visibility off of our AutoCAD, so we don't have to see that anymore. So that's all good. We can now save our part, and the nice thing is, let's go ahead and save it. The nice thing is if we come back to AutoCAD and let's say that this gets stretched, and a lot of this is tangent, so it's not going to really make a whole lot of sense when we do this, but let's just modify it just to kind of show what will happen. So if we stretch that down a little bit, key part, save it, back to Inventor, click Update, and now our entire part updated. So I didn't have to worry about any sketch constraints, making sure that I have tangent. One thing to note that's super important before I forget, the AutoCAD drawing must be closed. Okay, if it's open even in the least bit, you've got geometry that does not connect, it will not let you extrude it. So just make sure that when you're working with this, that everything's closed, and if it won't let you make an extrusion that you think it should let you make, odds are it's because you do not have a closed profile for your AutoCAD. So that's a tutorial, and